Okay. Are we ready? All right. Hey, guys. Good fucking evening. Good fucking night. Good fucking morning. I don't know where the fuck y'all at in the fucking world. But welcome to the first episode of Cinnergy. Can we get a round of applause? Thank you guys. Thank you guys. It's been a long time coming. I know you guys always see me with DMal, but I had to kick that nigga the fuck out. Period. You know, get my own platform just to talk the shit that I want to talk. Big shout out to my IG following. I feel like if it wasn't for them, I would never have the motivation, the fucking balls to even get up and talk shit as much as I do, because I always get great feedback on Instagram. So right now my name is Over It on IG, because a bitch be over it. Now they won't let me change it back. I had a fucking Kanye moment and changed my name. Now they don't want to let me change it back. So follow me on IG if you don't already. It's Over with 5 R's, It with 6 T's. So make sure you tap in with me. I be catching wreck. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Quench. If you guys haven't been there yet in Brockton, some of the most firest acai bowls. And you know, a bitch like me is unhealthy. Like, I will gobble down pizza, chicken wings, anything you put in front of me, dick. Anything you put anything you put in front of me, I'ma gobble it down. But if it's healthy, I don't want it. But these people over here, smoothies, acai bowls, fire. You won't miss a shot. Another thing I want to tap into is Cambridge police. I ain't gonna say nothing crazy 'cause I don't want to get locked up, but y'all some haters. They stopped me and DMal's show at the Middle East featuring, headlining Dita Flyers and G Nipsey. I was so pissed. I had a fit for that day. I was hoping mad people would show up, but you know, police gonna do what they do to us. It ain't nothing new. It's been going on 600 years now. Crazy. That's about right. That's exactly what's going on. So but big shout out to my dog DMal for always seeing the true potential in me, hearing the voice I had, as ghetto as it was. Lord, there'll be days I'll wake up like, why'd you post that? But great feedback, and DMal always believed in me and believed in me to be his co-host, and now finally, you know, bringing the torch down and like, yo, you got this, Cinn, you could do this. So I'm so excited for my first episode. And, you know, for my first episode, I wanted to have a real one on here. Somebody that I can really kick it with and have a conversation with and just have some substance. I feel like people these days don't have a lot of substance, and they just get on social media and they project anything, whether it be hate, whether it be, who fucking knows? Motherfuckers is just talking. Audacity is free. Nowadays, you know what I mean? But without further ado, I'm going to introduce Miss Yana Bean. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Welcome, Yana. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
What did the Cambridge police do? Did you even do the show, or did they stop it already?
They stopped the talent in the bag before it even got there.
That's what I was gonna say, because I planned on.
I seen you repost it. Much love for that. Much love for that.
Oh, welcome. Well, that stinks.
Yeah, no, like probably 2 or 3 days, if I'm not mistaken, before they canceled us, and I was like, damn, I'm tight. I really was looking forward to that because mad talent was gonna pop out. But once again, like I said, they've been violating us for so long. That's why Atlanta up here. Yeah, we got mad talent in Massachusetts, but we can't do nothing because them crackers be cracking down on us. I'm sorry.
Can't do it.
But how are you, Miss Yana?
I'm good. I'm relaxed. I feel good now.
Yes, I'm glad. I feel good too. For my first episode, I was like, I gotta have somebody that I could relate to, somebody that's gonna make me comfortable. I don't gotta be on my phone like, ugh.
No, you do not.
What do I gotta ask her next?
No, you do not.
You know what I mean? Oh, right? Mi casa, su casa,
that's
though.
Right.
Exactly.
That's right.
So, like I told you earlier, I had just finished reading your book, A Year and a Day.
Yes.
Make sure you guys go cop that. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I only bought it for like, what, $20?
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, $20.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you girls could sacrifice a half a 3-5 for a day to get some knowledge. You know, there's a lot of jewels in this book. I love how you just kept it so raw and so real. Let me ask you, why did you make the intro to the book like that? Like, why did you, in your childhood, because you went through so much, why did you want to make it so raw as soon as like you flip over to probably the second chapter, it gets real for you?
Well, I tell you that this book was like a healing process, right? No one ever knew about these incidents.
Okay.
So these were things that, you know, when you're trying to heal yourself and when you're trying to figure out, well, I done went to jail twice. Why do I keep doing that? You know, or why do I do certain things? Like, in order to heal from things, you have to go back to the root of it. So as I was writing, it was like, okay, so I have to face some things that I actually didn't face, because for me, I'm the person who, I probably just, I don't know, I just lost everything, but I'm just out here smiling, everything's good, you know, you don't even know. Right. And where did I learn to do that? Because I do it really well, you know, and I must admit that I do.
I feel like girls do it very well.
Right. Because you're used to dealing with so much at one time, right?
Exactly.
But you can't walk around acting like the world has ended because of these things.
And I think it comes with our upbringing.
Yeah. And this is what happened.
How was you brought up?
I was brought up, you don't talk about whatever goes on in this house.
Exactly.
You don't.
Same here. I'm Cape Verdean.
Right. So don't you go out there telling nobody nothing about our business or whatever.
But when you get into some shit, your mother right there on the phone.
Everybody.
This girl done had a boy over here. I thought you said don't say nothing in this house.
She can only say it.
Exactly.
She can only call everybody and tell them, but you can't say a word, right?
Exactly.
So when I learned that from an early age. So there was a lot of things that happened to me that it was just like, you know, you just be quiet and you figure out how to just cover it.
And move on.
One of the things that I learned that it went back to when I was being fondled as a kid. When my parents would fight and, all those things caused me to walk outside and how am I hiding this? How do I hide this? And I learned that. And that's where it came from. So as I began to write, it was like, that's the first thing that I never addressed in my life to myself or to anyone else, really. And even though I have discussed it to my little sisters or, some cousins and things like that, I didn't really address it to myself to the full extent. And I only gave them pieces of something.
Yes.
So, you even in here, you don't really get
No.
You don't get it. You don't get it. But that piece there, that was even hard to just acknowledging that was a lot.
No, I'm telling you, because when you started the book and I realized like you're coming out of Boston and growing up in the projects and, especially in the era that you grew up in, it was pretty tough as a young black girl to even have a voice.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind somebody really believing anything you gotta fucking say. Yeah. No, I can't say shit. Because at the end of the day, y'all gonna look like, girl, shut up.
Like, you're like, oh, that's it? That's all?
Yeah, that's all he did to you?
That's all?
So, when I got into your book, I was like, I gotta keep reading. I was like, she's from around the way. I gotta keep reading. I gotta keep reading. So, I want to tell people that when you do read this book, you are going to get hooked by the first couple chapters. Thank you. It is. I really got into the book. And then as we get deeper into your book, I realized that you were also in love, kind of where I related to being in love with a man. And then you had children with him. Yeah. And to realize that he was an addict, some people kind of frowned upon you for even sticking with him. Yeah. Girl.
But and I didn't care what people thought. Yeah. I didn't really give two shits. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'd be the same way. That's my man.
Right. It's not even that this is my man. This is my family.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean? So I was raised, I watched, my grandparents were married. They're still married to this day. Right?
That's dope.
My parents were married. They're no longer married, but I wanted that. I wanted that.
They still showed you.
Yeah, that this is what... this is what happened. So the little girl, I wanted to be, the mom, and I'm gonna, have love.
White picket fence.
Pretty house.
Yes.
Good kids.
What every girl wants.
What everyone wants. And I didn't believe that if your kid is acting up, do you get rid of your kid? No, you don't get rid of your kid. If your partner, this is your family. This is my family too. I didn't look at it like this is a guy I'm dating. Or a drug addict.
That's what I'm saying.
And to be clear, well, my family had drug addicts in it, so it's not like something new to do. You know what I mean? It wasn't something new. So I knew about people using and abusing drugs as a kid. I didn't understand it or know what it was, but I didn't feel that was a reason not to love and care for your family.
Definitely. And that's true, because I can relate to it. Like I said, I was very in love with someone who, great family man, you know, raised his kids, but people would always be in my ear like, oh, that nigga do that, he do this, and I'm like, well, he take care of me, and I love him, and he take care of his kids, and we be clicking, but sometimes that could also be a downfall to you, because it's like, we cool, he gets his money, I get my money, but after a while, it's like that addiction takes away from a lot of shit.
It does.
And it's more than money, it's time. It's like, now I'm filling in holes for different shit, and it's not just money, it's time that you're taking from this.
And it might be your hair.
Yo,
you could lose a lot of, you could lose a lot of yourself when you're trying to
build someone else,
build up something, or cover something.
Okay, yes.
So I would say that, one of the things that I learned as a kid growing up was how to cover, right?
Me too.
I covered by, lying, deceiving, I painted a different picture of what was actually going on, you know? And I wish, honestly, I wish I never, in doing the episode, I wish I never mentioned that part. Sometimes I feel like I wish I didn't mention that part, because I don't want it to take away from the fact of there's a lot of women, there's a lot of men who have partners that, he wasn't addicted the whole time. We were together in high school. You know? People go through these situations. You grow up with people together. You see someone as a kid, you know them as a teenager, you know them as an adult.
You know who they are. You
know who the person is. So I'm not looking at what a person's doing. I look at who I know the person is, right? And so that, that's just what it was. But I didn't want that to take away from the whole point of the face of addiction. So I don't want to put addiction on a person. The monster itself is addiction.
It is.
And that's what you end up dating. That's what you end up
dealing with. Really.
Right, because addiction swallows up a person. So, I didn't look at it in the way that maybe others might, just because I already had an understanding as a kid that, this is my family here. They do this, they do that. That doesn't, my grandmother didn't take her love away from them.
Yeah.
So
but my main thing is you work through it, because like my father was an addict. He was addicted to alcohol for the longest, and I only say that because my mother didn't want to deal with it. Right. After a certain amount of time of like imagine. Back and forth from the hospital, seizures in the car, like he's coughing out blood all over the car. My mom was just like, no, like I got 2 girls, like do I want them to meet a man like you? I don't know if I do. You know what I mean? So my mom kind of just, you gotta hit the road, Jack.
Right.
I can't have my kids around this.
And one thing that's funny is I always talk about my mother, like when I was a kid, I'm thinking I would never do, I wouldn't do things like this, or I wouldn't do things like that. But it's like she did everything better than me, because she didn't allow this to.
My mother
she didn't allow us to be raised in that. She didn't look at it like, maybe she did in the beginning. Maybe she thought, again, like every woman might think, well, it'll go away, it'll stop, it'll be fixed.
Yeah.
Right? But it only continues to get worse, because you continue to feed something that's growing on its own, and now you're helping it eat more, and it's getting bigger.
Exactly.
Right? So that's, one of the things I always laugh at to myself, like, and I talked about Mom. And she wasn't going through it, and she looking at me like I'm crazy,
girl.
Like, what are you?
I know you see me go through that shit.
Like, Yana, what are you doing?
But it's sick, because it's like it's a cycle that we don't even notice.
You don't notice. You don't know, because you can't see
until you're there.
You can't see yourself, and you can't ever say. And I mean, some things I might have said before. I'm not exempt from being human, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure I've said plenty of times, well, if that was me, I wouldn't.
Wouldn't be me.
Yeah, but
then it'd be you.
It wasn't me. It wasn't you. So if you weren't faced with something, you don't know how you're going to react to it. And you don't know what you're going to do.
No, you're not. You're not even lying. I'm letting you know right now. I used to look at my mother the same way. Like, my dad, no way. Then I fell in love. This guy is so romantic. Oh, my God. Like, his penis is on the threshold. Like, there's no other guy that's going to love me how he loves me. Right. No way. I don't care what drugs he's on. I'm sorry.
Right. I don't see that.
That is me.
That's right.
But
that's right.
I'm telling you, and we're still good friends. I'm not even gonna throw no shade on him. We're still great friends. He's a great person, and to this day, I show him mad love. I show his kids mad love, because, like you said, you can't let addiction define what a person is, because it eats somebody whole. And if they can climb out of that hole, then praise to God.
Who that is.
Exactly. Praise to God. I got that person back. Yes. And, the devil didn't consume him.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Praise to God.
So we're here. We know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But again, you got to go through it in order to see it that way. Not everybody can do that.
Exactly.
It takes a lot.
So even with dealing with that, dealing with trauma that you had as a child, you still picked yourself back up.
Yeah.
Stuck with your education, got your money, you had your sons.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, DMal. That's my kids,
Two
my
beautiful
boys.
Black men raised by a beautiful Black woman.
That's right.
And I can say, because I never met your son D, but Malik, very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Gentleman, handsome to say the least.
Very much. Okay. Very much so.
And he's a Cancer, right?
He is a Leo too.
He's a Leo. Oh, he's on the cusp.
He's on the cusp.
He's on the cusp.
Yeah, he is.
My cousin, he's a Leo.
He Cancer too though, because he's way too nice. He's a nice gentleman. I give it to
his mother's son.
He is it. Shout out to Bean. Shout out to Bean. Shout out to Bean. You did a great job raising your sons.
Thank you.
Even dealing with the circumstances, and that's what I want to get into now.
Yeah.
So you had a very legit job. You was doing your thing.
Yep.
And from reading your book, I already know. Bitch, shit got hard.
Right. See?
Shit was going left.
Yeah.
I had to make it right.
Right.
So when you stepped into this, and I don't want to call you a trap queen once again.
Yeah, because well, you can. Everyone has their own definition.
Exactly.
Everyone has their own definition.
Yes.
So I'm not offended by being called it, but I think that the popular term, I don't go by that.
Yep.
I don't see it that way.
Yep.
For me, a trap queen would be, anyone, well, any woman, because it's trap queen, right?
Yeah.
That is trapped in a box.
Yeah.
And your back's up against the wall. And how you become a trap queen is how you make it out of that trap.
Ooh,
so that's my definition from it. And it doesn't have to be. That could even be. Well, should I need to work another job? I need 2 jobs. For me to be able to make it to that higher level, I need to take a class. It could be anything. So whatever tools you decide to use to get you out of that trap, that's what I consider to be a trap queen.
Okay. I like that definition. Yeah. You cleats it up real quick because niggas think of Fetty Wap.
I like the song and all, but that wasn't me.
Niggas trying to hit the bando.
No, that wasn't me.
Niggas think of Fetty Wap, but you was very classy with it. Like, hold on. First of all, I had a keyboard. I was not at a stove.
Yeah,
I had a keyboard, sir. I went to the bank. No, sir.
Get it right.
But due to your circumstances, just give us like a quick rundown, because I don't like to get too deep into detail about that bullshit. But what made you really just like do that? Like, what pushed you to the limit at that point? At this point, just fuck it, bro. Like, if I get caught, I get caught. Like, I get it.
I didn't think about caught. I didn't think about
She's
caught.
Like, I was just thinking about what I'm gonna do.
I didn't think about caught. I thought about survival. I thought about do what you need to do. I thought about how am I gonna get out of this? How am I gonna do more than, like, you can only work so many hours out of the day, right? You can only legally you can only be a mom and a sister and a daughter and an employee for so many hours out of the day. My thought process wasn't a thought process.
How old was you at the time, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. How old was I in 2005?
So my cousin Yana.
Well, how about this?
Because the mind don't really develop till you're like 25. So it's like sometimes you really got to look at that. Like, I was young. I had kids.
I can't say that. I can't ever use.
Very mature.
I can't ever say.
But I still look at like, I really feel like anybody. Because I can't lie, 28. I just turned 28. This is when I'm really thinking about my life.
Exactly.
Like getting it together. How am I going to buy a house? What do I want to do? At 28. So that Not even at 27. I was still fucking around.
See, that's my thinking at 19, though. I became a mother at 17. So my thought process was a little advanced for someone that was probably in that age. Like, I probably was in a job that was a little advanced for people that were in that age range. So I really never associate the age with thing, but where you are in life with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm a mom at 17, 10 years later, I'm not thinking of, oh, well, what I just now got to do. You know, I've been thinking that the whole time, what I got to do. And I made it through, you know, my thought process was, I'm going to get into a job and work my way up, take some classes. You know, this is the hustle that you do, right? And so by the, you know, and that's what I was doing. And by the time I turned, because when I went to my first sentence, so I was probably about 20, between 27, 29. Okay. Because when I was sentenced to, when I went to South Bay, my first case, I went in that January. I came home in like that April. Okay. And then I turned 30 that summer.
All right.
So, you know, and I had bought a house and everything already. So that's
so
what
you was pretty like,
it was
I'm
forward.
Good
it was
for
forward.
Right now.
Yeah, it was forward, more forward thinking in that aspect. But I didn't think. I didn't make a strategy. I didn't make a foolproof plan as to
you just knew you had to do it.
I just took a risk without thinking, because probably if I had thought about it, it wouldn't have been something I did. So I can't say I was scared. I was anything. I didn't really care about what I was doing. I didn't think about it at all. I didn't. Okay. I was scared when I first went and deposited this check. I was scared. But I wasn't scared.
What was you thinking? Like, was your heart racing?
I was just thinking, well, if it's clear, like
I'm in the clear.
Like, if it's clear, you know,
if it's clear, I'm in the clear. We out.
I didn't know if it would clear. You know, I didn't know if it would clear.
Deposit on this house,
but I did it.
So what happened when the first check cleared?
When the first check cleared, I'll tell you. I remember when the first check cleared. I remember going to the bank and I was standing there, like, you know, like, if I thought about the steps or the consequences, why would I walk into the bank? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So obviously, you know, and I'm not on drugs. I'm just obviously
And at this time,
crazy.
they wasn't IDing people, right?
Well, see, this is the thing. You know, I worked in finance, so I didn't even sign the check. You know, you could deposit without having signed. I learned that from work. You know, so it cleared. And when I went in and withdrew that money, when I seen that it was available and it had cleared, I pulled it all out.
As you should.
And I pulled it all
I'm sorry.
out.
I was supposed to say that.
I felt like everyone was looking at me. You know what I mean? But
that's how you be like.
Yeah. And I swear to God, I walked out of there so fast. I probably was running like the marathon, walking just from the counter to the door, you know? But I did it. And I'm going to tell you, after I did that, I was now addicted to doing this because it worked. Right?
And you didn't get caught.
I didn't get caught for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't get caught for a long time. So I think that first check was probably like $900 or something like that. And then it was like, okay, well, that works. So
now we up and it's stuck.
What about $2,000? What about this one? Okay, then it was like, oh, that ain't even enough. Then I'm acting like this is really my money.
Yeah,
like I got.
But it really was though, because it's like, who's to tell you it's not?
No, look, I'm crazy. Okay, okay. Anybody who's doing that's crazy, right?
I mean, risky, very risky. Because I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I'm not thinking about that.
I wasn't.
Especially in your shoes, I'm not thinking about that. But I really like that. Not to say I like it, but I respect it that you really thought, like, fuck it. And you did something with it. It's not like you went and bought Gucci, Louis, Prada.
I didn't.
And cashed out on a Range Rover.
I did not.
And you went and got Malik and D some new Gucci shoes.
You know, if my mind had been there, I probably.
But that's where a lot of minds be there now.
It was there for my family. You know, I wanted everyone to have the best of the best. You know, I remember my sister being in college at the time. I remember her being in college at the time, and you know, she was, you know, down Copley, and her friends were buying stuff, and she looked like depressed, and I was thinking, like, why is she acting like her sister ain't got it? You know, like, you know, and that's just like crazy.
She probably
want
to ask. Your money. She probably want to
ask. She told me something like, oh, I want to go, but I don't have nothing to wear, whatever. And I was like, come to my job and get my card. And she was like, well, do you have it? You know? And I was thinking, yeah, come get my card.
Girl.
Don't worry about it. And I remember her being like, oh, like, you know, my
you
sister
got it.
You know? Because, I mean, it looked, to people, it would look like I had this great job. And not, my job was great.
Yeah,
you know,
what to say? You said you had a corner office.
You know,
yes.
it looked like, you know.
You was doing your thing.
Right. So what we talked about earlier was covering. It looked like this. But really, it wasn't that. You know, it wasn't that. And so, you know, my family, of course, wouldn't question me because it looked like I'm big time.
Exactly.
You know, I got this great career going. But it wasn't, it was really pennies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I wanted my sister to feel good. I wanted my kids not to feel what we were going through.
They had to suffer.
Right. So why do they have to suffer for my stupid decisions? Mm-hmm. But I didn't think about the stupid decisions that they would be suffering from had I gotten caught, because I didn't think of that.
So how long did it take you to get caught from when you started doing your 1-2?
Well, the first time, I believe it was almost 3 years, I want to say. Maybe not 3 years. I think it was like two around there.
You was on a little run.
I was on it because I didn't start doing it right away. You know, it took, I was at my job for maybe like a little while, a long while.
Okay, so you got comfortable at the job before you try to figure out how you could finesse.
I never thought about doing something like that.
Okay.
You know, I was working in higher education for a long time. I never thought to do anything like that. I never been arrested before. Yeah. Other than in Brockton, driving on a suspended license, car not registered.
Lord. You know Brockton police. You don't know if they trying to flirt with you or pull you over, sir. Right?
So that's the only thing.
I know your wife.
I've never done, you know, I wasn't, you know, doing anything that I would be, you know, that's like, what are you doing? Like, you just go from that to
like
this.
I said, you saw the opportunity. You know you needed something, so you took it.
And I took the wrong route. And I continued to do it because it was like, you know, I felt like this was mine and this is what I'm going to do. I never thought about, well, if I get caught. I didn't even, you know, most people when they're doing a crime, they look at the consequences. They look at, well, what can happen?
No,
I never looked.
Because I'm not going to lie to you. How I could relate to that in a sense is growing up, I used to chill around a lot of D-boys. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, especially growing up Cape Verdean in Brockton, you see a lot of that around your way. The scamming shit, I feel like that's more so Boston. Okay. Like, when I started chilling in Boston more, I used to see more scammers. Yeah. So, in Brockton, I used to chill around a lot of D-boys. So, I thought it was cute. I'm like, oh, I'm a little D girl. I'm about to... My man just bought me True Religion. Right? Like, girl, you're a bum. Like... Then I got caught up with my D-boy. Right. And I'm driving dirty with my permit, no license, thinking I'm the shit. Girl, I went to Framingham for probably 1 week.
Oh, my God.
I was sick. I
probably would have died.
Yo, Lord.
I never been.
Got into a fight on the first day.
Oh, my God.
Sick. I was like, Lord, I don't ever want to be around a D-boy again. But that excitement, that opportunity, you know, that money's coming. It's easy. I don't got to do nothing for it. I just got to ride in your front seat.
That's it.
And I get $300 today.
That's it.
And you just brought me some True Religion. Oh, let's go. Then I'm 19. We go on the fucking roof, Chris. Like, you know, and that steak ain't even all that. I could make a better steak now.
You better off going to Khalil's.
Yo. Okay. Shout out to Khalil's in Brockton. For real. So it's like you really gotta look at it like. So I understand. Like, yo. At this point, I could get this bread. It's easy bread. I got that. I'm feeding my family. I'm not really hurting nobody.
Exactly.
These niggas don't even know the money there.
Right.
So I'm good. Right. So I definitely understand why you took the risk and why you did it. And it all had great intentions. Because like I said, a lot of girls nowadays, they take that risk and all they get out of it is a new BBL and a Gucci bag.
Right, and you know what? If that was the thing back then, I might have did. I might have. Because I was doing like I was trying to create a music business. You know what I mean? So that money was used to like my self-education. You know, I was going on a lot of trips to different events, getting, you know, going to all the industry stuff. I
saw a couple of your pictures with some artists. I was like, okay, Ayana.
Yeah, I was.
She was outside.
And I'm outside.
And I would bring my kids with me.
Outside.
You know, I would bring them with me, and I would, you know, just this experience. And I really thought that it would be great, and I would be something. You know, I wanted to be something big and great for myself and for my family, and I used part of the money that I had stolen to do that.
I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I feel like I said, you did it for a good reason. You wasn't just really just like, oh, I'm greedy, let me just take these people money. Right. Bitch, you was not to call you a bitch, excuse me. Girl,
I'm used to y'all now.
Excuse me, because I gotta respect you for real.
It's not disrespect. I get it.
Like you really had to get out the mud. You had to figure it out. And from coming from somewhere, and I came from the same place, that you gotta cover it up and make it seem like everything is good. So where the point your sister doesn't even know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
that's so dope. But if you could take anything you learned out of going to prison, whether it be if it impacted your children's life, even if it impacted you and how you move today, like what would you give to the younger black women who are thinking about getting into a life of crime?
Well, this is a long answer.
It is. I kind of went on, but it's like, but no, whoever.
This will be, and the reason why is because I want to make sure I touch all points, right? So, first of all, what I want young women or young men or anybody to know is what you're doing, how smart you are to even do that, and how much of a risk taker you're like a person on Wall Street taking risks doing stock trading right now, right?
Yeah.
You are so smart, right? You are so intelligent. You have so much in you that if you took that and did the right thing, you would make triple times the money that you're getting the wrong way, right? I didn't give myself a chance, and I didn't put enough confidence in myself to know that. And I feel dumb about that because I knew how smart I was. You know, I went to Metco school. I was in Sudbury. I wanted to get kicked out to go to school in the hood. I was smart. You know, I wasn't a dumb kid. I was experienced in life at an early age. So the first thing that I would let someone know is to give yourself a chance. You know, give yourself a chance, believe in yourself, and have the confidence that, listen, you could really go out here and kill it the right way.
Yeah.
People do that every day.
Without looking over your back.
But if you want it fast, it's not going to happen.
It's going to end fast.
It's going to end fast. If you go and you bump into a couple of holes in the wall, or if you're facing some challenges, and then you stop, you're never going to know how far you could have made it. You know what I mean? But when you're doing something wrong, it's so easy to do something wrong. It's so hard to do something right.
Yep. No, you're right.
So don't take the...
Because it's so easy to get a BBL, but it's so hard to be in the gym.
What?
Lord knows I be there like... Ugh.
Listen, and it's not that... And you don't come out looking like that
you
right
don't,
after. Listen, there's a lot that goes with this.
Exactly.
You know, and some of us can't stomach it, but again, just like the things that I went and did something... I didn't know the pain.
Yep.
You don't know one thing you don't see is the pain of these things.
Exactly.
And it's a lot of pain, you know.
Until you experience
it. So that's one part that I want someone else to know. How it changed me, I did two bids. It wasn't a long time, but one day still was a million years.
Yeah, it's still a year and a day. It's still I did a week and it was a lot, right? Yo, I still be having flashbacks. I tell girls all the time, like when I worked for DY, it's like, girl, you don't want to go. They used to call it Big Bertha. Like, we ain't going to Big Bertha. Big Bertha gonna lay on you.
That's right.
I'm like, yeah, she gonna lay on you, girl. Don't go there. They used to call Framingham Big Bertha.
Listen. Yeah, I heard about Framingham, but they did not send me over there. And I had a state case, but they didn't send me over there. I was able to do my time.
You did
in
not
South
want
Bend.
to go there. I hate it.
And I was thinking I'll die over there. You know, you can't send me. Girl, I probably.
Yo, it was so ghetto, and I was 19. I'm 19.
Yeah, they was gonna get you.
They're like, oh, here's your clothes. You're across the campus. I'm like, across the campus.
They're gonna get you.
Little crackhead coming up. Oh, come with me. I'm like, come, fresh.
No. She put a candy on the bed. No. It's no joke.
It's no joke.
I'm telling you that if there was a scared straight, if I had a camera and they did a reality show of the way that I was crying when I was going downstairs at Nashville Street,
I cried every night.
You would have thought that I was being murdered.
Yep, I cried every night.
All I was there for was 5 minutes, and I didn't make it upstairs yet.
Yo. I was going to court after a week. The girl next to me is 6 months pregnant.
Oh my God.
She's like, what are you crying for? I'm like, my mom, I'm on $50,000 bill.
Oh my God.
She's like, I'm not going home till my baby's born. I'm on my way to my appointment. I'm like, oh, you think I'm gonna help?
But that doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter.
Right?
That doesn't matter. Just because you're doing it. you cannot determine someone else's pain.
Exactly. You can't.
One day it equals 10 years for another person. Like it did for me. So then, Ayana, then why did you go and do it again and then get in trouble again? Well, that was 10 years later.
Yeah. I thought I was a little smarter.
That was an easy answer, right? But listen, obviously, I still there's some things that I haven't, resolve with myself because I'm willing to risk this again. I'm willing to do that again. Another stupid thing. Well, listen, nothing changed in my life when I came out of jail from one to another. I still was having issues within myself. I still had issues within my family.
And I came home to 2 kids I still got to raise.
Okay. There's no excuse for the decision. And I don't want anyone to ever think that all these situations equaled this stuff was an excuse. None of that's an excuse because I didn't have to do any of that. Yeah. I didn't have to do any of that, and neither does anybody else. There's so many things that you could do, especially today, that you can really, keep your head above water. Exactly. So I used an option, and I had no excuse to use that. Nothing that I was going through, nothing I wanted to do was worth one day away from life as I knew it or away from my kids. It wasn't worth it at all. The other thing that I wanted to say was, it changed my kids' life. It changed my life. My first bid, my kids were smaller. We owned a house at the time, so I didn't fear, that stress of where my kid's gonna go, what are they gonna do. I didn't have that the first time.
Did you want them to know you were going to prison?
Oh no! Listen, no.
Because a lot of women deal with that now. No. And it's never really more so the mom. It's usually the father. So would you think it's a good idea for women with younger kids to introduce or bring their children to prisons to see their parents?
I do not. Okay. That's my personal opinion. For me, and the way that I thought back then, I didn't want anyone to have that vision of me because my family sees me as being this strong giant. So how I'm going to have them come up here, I don't got no weave. I don't have anything. No. I didn't do any visits at either time I was in prison. I did no visits because I felt shamed and embarrassed. So I didn't want them to see me in that position. I talked to my kids on the phone. I lied to them. I told them I was at a women's conference for 3 months. They were little. I remember talking to my son, him saying, I just thought that was weird, right? But they never asked me. And it was like, well, why didn't we get to come with you? Because you always bring us with you.
Yes.
And it was like, yeah, well, this one you can't. It's kind of like, I just kept lying to them. As they got older, and when it was time for my second bid, I turned 40 years old in federal prison.
What?
Yeah.
I was about to say, you looking good, girl.
Thank you. I did. I turned 40. I had my birthday in federal prison in Lexington, Kentucky.
In Kentucky?
Yeah, that's where I was.
Lord.
Lexington, Kentucky. And I remember how I treated myself was I had the salmon foil package, and my friend made me a salmon patty, and I was like, oh my God, this is the best birthday ever.
I love that for you, though. I love that for you. In jail. Because niggas gonna really be like, we don't give a fuck about this, bitch. Fuck you.
I didn't do the bust down my account every month. In the Fed you can have $390 a month. I didn't do that at all. That's like selfish. I felt that's ignorant. Like my family's out there paying bills. I'm in here. I could make
at least you thought about that.
Work.
Best inmate ever.
I didn't call.
I'm telling you.
I did the true link. I emailed mostly because I was actually, it would make me cry really to speak to them. So I really didn't want to do that. So I emailed them all the time more so than called. I just tried to, I braided hair always my whole life. I could braid hair. I could do, but I wasn't hurting for anything.
Multifaceted, many hats.
Yeah, I wasn't hurting for anything. My family would send me, when I told them that I didn't have anything, like it would take me down to my last. But I worked in jail.
Yeah.
So I was making money in jail. I worked at the men's prison that was behind the jail. I was in prison camp, and they have the medical one behind. I worked over there at the
I read in your book you didn't play in jail either. You had one of the girls in there who had tried to try you or something.
One of the
but at the end of when she was leaving, she came back like, girl, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because what you going to do? What's the problem with me? I'm on my business.
Yeah.
But she did because that I was good to you. We were roommates. And I would give you things. You didn't have no people out here taking care of you. I looked out for you. And then you got crazy on me.
For nothing.
And it was for no reason. And then I just never talked to you. I'm not the type of person. I'm not going to argue you down. I'm not going to argue with you. I just won't deal with you no more.
Period.
We'll just let it
take the high road.
I never talked to her again. I moved to another room, and she was older than me. And when she was leaving, she can't because she couldn't read or write.
That's what you was teaching
letters,
her.
Teaching
That's
her
how
how
you
to
was
do these
teaching
things,
her.
and this is how you treat me.
Right.
I respect my elders too. Whatever. But you will not get no more Jolly Ranchers from me.
Sorry, Miss Jenkins.
You will not get any from me. But when she was leaving, she was going to another unit, and she had came to my door, and she's like, I just wanted to tell you that I'm sorry. I regret the worst thing I ever did was being
cross
crazy
you,
to you. And it was like, and I stood at the door, and I'm a Leo, so I'm the king of the jungle. I'm the king of the jungle, and I'm gonna when I'm not then I'm gonna stand on that, right? So I just stood. When she asked me to the door, I went to the door, and I was just like. Like I didn't say anything.
No nothing.
I didn't say anything, and she was just like, "Okay, so you're not gonna talk to me about it." So I was just thinking, I went up back onto my bed, like, no, because that didn't make no sense.
Yeah.
And that's how I am. I would do that.
So you just let her ride out.
Let her ride out.
Like, see you
can
later,
think about
girl.
that for the rest of your life.
I treated you. You got one chance with me.
Yeah.
You got one chance with me.
You can do that for the rest of your life. I don't want to hold that. So again, it wasn't worth it. When I was in federal prison, what hurt me a lot was the young ladies in there doing a lot of time that were only 21, 22. Like, I was thinking, whoa, you did what?
That would have been me if I ain't beat that.
5 years? You're going to be here for 5 years? Like, oh my goodness. That hurt. Like, but why did you do, and look at me, like, girl, you in here too. Like, why did you do that? You know what I mean? Like, why did you do that? Like,
because the risk, a lot of those girls was probably way bigger than the risk that you took.
Like, you in the car with the guy you love, he got you going to jail for this kid. You still writing him while you're in here? What are you talking about? He don't care about
once again, I saw another interview with you that y'all all agreed that the women VIs would be so empty.
Oh, yeah.
But the men VIs, bitches is beefing.
Well, you know that. You know it.
That should be crazy to me. That's why I'd be like, you know what? You going to jail at this big age, sir.
You got 4 or 5 people
put
to
money
send
on
you
the
$100
phone.
a month.
Put money on the phone.
Right.
I answer your phone call. But this whole visiting you, this writing shit, because if I go to jail, sir,
it's not going to happen.
You going to have another baby.
Listen, it's not going to happen. His number's going to change. And, it's not wrong. That might be wrong for me to say. I have to say that there was one guy I knew. There was a woman in prison.
Some real ones out there.
There were some real ones out there. She was in there for 3 years. I know 2 people, actually. A woman that was married and a person who wasn't married. Her boyfriend took custody of her kids while she was in prison.
Oh.
He was up there every visit with the kids. He made sure she always had money. She always had good money because they were doing the birthday parties and cooking with each other. I was just good with my little popcorn, you know what I mean?
From the vending machine.
From the vending machine, right? And he took care of her, and now I've seen that they got married.
Oh, that's dope.
There's another woman who was married. Her husband was from, I think, Detroit or somewhere. He would come up to Kentucky for visits.
Real one.
And he made sure she had bread. But I mean, they had lots of money. But I mean, that's probably the only 2 out of all those people. Out of
the whole population,
that's what I saw.
2.
Right. But men have what? They meet people from.
It was Tanya, Tanisha. You got a bunch of girls at their visits.
Bunch of girls at
That's why I feel like we just gotta really remind a lot of, especially like I said, young black girls that a lot of men, because at least you was lucky. You got it on your own. You did it on your own. You got out of it on your own. A lot of women get groomed.
Yeah.
To think that they gotta live a certain lifestyle to get what they want. Like you said, if you apply those same tools, that same energy, that same effort into something that you really might like doing, you'll get the same results, girl.
You will make it. I swear to you. I swear to you that you will. I see there's a lot of young girls out here that are bossed up, running businesses, getting money, having a good life, doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
They didn't take I can't tell you what they may be doing behind the scenes, but I'm gonna tell you in front of me. I can see them running businesses. I can see them trying. I can see them not giving up on themselves. I can see them giving themselves a chance. And that's all you gotta do. You know what I mean? You're going to fail a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But the one time that you win is going to be so big.
It's going to be so good.
It's going to be so big. And you're going to really appreciate it because you did that.
Exactly.
You did it yourself.
Through all the trials and tribulations,
right.
you did that.
It's easy to get. When you get the easy bread, fast bread, you spend it fast. You spend it easy.
Exactly.
When you work hard and be like, I ain't buying that. They ain't got no clearance rack. You know, it means a lot more to you.
Yeah.
It means a lot more. So, you know, don't play yourself. You know,
don't cut yourself
myself
short.
I played myself.
Me too, girl.
Very, very short. I played myself. And today, I won't do that.
Yeah.
I want to say that I won't do that because I don't know what the future holds, right? But right now, the stronger person that I am, I'm stronger than I've ever been in my entire life today. When I came home in 2014, I wanted to hide. I didn't want, look. I'm
nobody
done.
to ask for you, know
about you. I don't
about
want to try to do
you.
nothing good. I don't want to try.
Well, look at you now.
Hidden. But for what? You know, hide myself for what?
Exactly. Because, like I said, look at you now. Like, you got... So I ended up seeing that you was trying to do something for women who are coming out of prison.
Yes.
And I know you got so much going on, so you probably really haven't been able to tap into it.
Yes.
But I like the fact that you're even putting that out there into the universe, that you do want to help women that are incarcerated, that are coming home and don't have the proper tools to adjust back to society, because that's so important.
It is important, and it really determines whether or not you're going to go back to prison.
Exactly.
You know, because what will happen is, say a woman, you know, we were talking about this earlier with the young girls at DYS.
Exactly. Oh, you're
when
right.
You come home from prison, say you were a domestic violence victim and you're in prison, right? You come home. Where are you going to go? After your halfway house time, if you get approved for it, right? Where are you going to go, right? You might go back to where you were abused from. And then what's going to happen? You're going to end back up.
It's a cycle.
You're going to end back up in prison, or you might end up dead, or, you know, what are you going to do? So it's great that society says, oh, you do the crime, you do the time. Yeah. And then you can wipe the slate clean and go over. But when you come home, it's like there's nothing.
That Corey follow you everywhere you go.
Corey follows you everywhere
that Corey,
you go.
I just got a job not too long ago working with autistic children. And I had to write an essay, send in my Corey. And they're like, oh, well, the essay, okay, yeah, now you got the job. It took me damn near 2-3 months to even get the job. I had to write a whole damn essay. So God forbid if I wasn't even competent enough to write an essay.
Right.
I'm going to say, fuck it. I'm not working there no more. Back to the trap.
You're like, why? Like, why do you got to put me through this? Listen, they denied me a job at Instacart.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
First of all, let's teach you how to read a query.
Yeah.
Okay? Just because someone has something on their query, it has nothing to do with this job.
And my shit was in my case was dismissed. So when they're sending me the query, they was like, yeah, we just need to know what's going on with that. I was like, it was dismissed.
Right. So you shouldn't even be looking
I wasn't
at it.
really convicted.
Right.
It's a conviction. It's a felony, but I wasn't convicted.
See?
So it's like, but you still got to explain yourself. That's why I tell them too, like, you know, I get it. Like, you know, like you make your choices and we're not going to be the people that stop all the crime, but you know, we can influence at least some black women. You can. And that's why I want a lot of young black girls to read your book. I want but black girls, white girls, purple girls, blue girls, all the girls.
Women have to stand together.
Exactly.
We have to learn to stand together.
Exactly.
We have to learn to stop being against each other. And we have to learn that I'm not different from you. You're not different from me. For every black girl named Keisha, there's a white girl named Lisa.
Oh, I like that.
The same.
I like that.
They act the same. They're going through the same thing.
I like that.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? So we can't. There's no judgment here. Like I have my little circle of like my sister and my two cousins. we have a no judgment zone. Like you just did something stupid, girl. You know you did. You know that was
you
dumb.
And God. you give them that look like you and God.
You know, in this room right here, you know you crazy, right?
Come on.
But when we go out there, that's my love.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not, that's what we need to be doing for each other. We can't grow. We can't get anywhere when we're pulling each other
unless
down.
we uplift each other
up.
We
have to uplift
Fuck
each other.
Fuck these niggas. That's the reason why we got beef anyway.
To get nowhere. Everybody can get the same shoe. Everybody can walk the same sidewalk, climb the same ladder.
Exactly.
It's no need for that. So
and that's all that's left.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy I had to get you here.
I am too.
I really did. You know how much I was like, but I'm so happy I got you here. You're probably like got me in my element, got me mad comfortable.
You have to be. Yeah.
Yo,
I'm excited for you.
Thank you so much.
I'm excited for you. You're doing something. You wanted to do something.
Yeah.
You're taking the steps to do it. You were learning it. Now it's on you.
Because I always knew I had a voice. It's just like, but who's listening? Once again, it's like, but who's listening?
Everybody.
You know, like, but you bring it to like something like this to your mother, and she's from the islands.
Oh yeah, she don't know.
And I'm like, mommy, I gotta.
What is that?
Stop! I don't care. I'm like, damn.
She'll see how big you are.
When I get famous, you gonna be right here in the hood. I'm gonna bring my little brother and my niece. You gonna be right here.
You
never believed in me. When I do my speech, I'm gonna be like, my mama never believed in me.
She gonna slap
But she here in the audience because I fuck with her because she my mama.
That's right.
You know?
You better.
So it's like, I'm so happy to have you here. Do you have anybody that you want to shout out?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's get it, girl.
I want to shout out everybody. And why I say that is because just like you just said, well, who's listening?
Yes.
A lot of people. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have reached out to me that I'm like, the other girls on it, they was talking millions and billions. Like, who's looking at my little change, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not no competition. We already did what we did individually, right? I'm not in competition with anyone. For me, the type of person I am, I just want to help people. And I want to use my story, what I'm doing, my journey, to help someone else get ahead. Mm-hmm. And if it just takes one person listening, then I've done a great job. Yeah. And so I think any one person or any two persons or however many people, I'm so grateful that that they look at me as something, because that makes me know that there's more work to do.
Yep.
And
definitely,
there's more that
girl.
I can be doing. So I want to say big shout out to my family. All of them.
Fam bam.
Yes.
To the fam bam. Yes,
all of
yes.
them. The ones that love me and the ones that don't.
Talk about the haters. Talk about the haters. Talk about the haters. Talk about the haters. I like that. Talk about the haters. Talk about the haters.
And I say that because, again, all of that is a good energy for me. Mm-hmm. It's all good energy for me.
It is.
I take all of it.
All energy is better than no energy.
All energy is better than no energy. I stand on who I am. I stand on what I've done. You could say whatever you want to say, as long as you're saying the truth about me, then I stand on that.
That's all it is.
Big shout out to my sons, D and Malik.
Yes. Shout out to them.
It's not easy.
My guy Bean. Bean 22.
And our friends call us the same nickname,
really?
Which is crazy. He stole my nickname.
No way. He's come on. What you expect?
I don't know. He's
protege.
He think he's lit. He thinks he's lit, but he's not.
Shout out to Bean 22. I fuck with my guy Bean.
The reason why I say this, why I wanted to say this one thing, I remember when my son was younger, he was like, what does our last name even mean? Like, did anybody do anything good besides go to jail? And I was like, no.
No.
Like, no, nobody did. So
we invented the name Beantown. That's
no, my friends did first.
That's what we did.
My friends did
Little
first.
do you know.
But now in 2022, I could tell my son, I could tell my grandson, and I could tell my granddaughter what our name means.
Dope.
And what our name means is strength. What our name means is power. Yes. What our name means is forward. What you are is exactly.
And if you ain't eating them beans, you ain't getting thick.
You're not getting.
Okay,
you're not getting
girl.
No protein.
What you eating?
You're not getting no protein.
Come on.
Please do.
I fuck with it the long way.
Please do.
I fuck with it the long way.
And I think everybody's family should understand that. If you never feel like there's any substance to who you are, or anything around you, then you need to do some more work on yourself. Absolutely. You need to do some more work. If you want to carry on a torch, if you want to be great, if you want your family to shine and be great, if you want to see your name, like see the Seagrams, the Walmarts, and everyone, continue to work hard. Continue to work hard and get together and make a plan together to be great.
Exactly.
So I'm glad today I could say I got a book out.
Yes.
BT American Gangster Trial Queen.
Yes.
I have a business planner. I just did a business planning workshop down at the WRC in Roxbury.
I love hearing all the black magic. Yes, all the black magic.
Starting next Saturday, I am in partnership with the Roxbury Library. Woo. I'm going to be teaching financial aid there.
I love that. I love that for you.
Movies about to get rolling. And I'm trying to just do everything that I can do and take the opportunities that come that can continue to build for me and my family. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to be received.
Girl, I look forward to all of that. Yes, I look forward to all of that. Once again, make sure you guys go get my girl's book on Amazon. It's worth the read. It's very raw. It's very real. It's very relatable. Once again, I might read it a second time. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you.
I want to give a shout out to Gourmet Kitchen. If you want some real authentic but kind of fusion Haitian food, go to Gourmet Kitchen in Randolph.
Okay.
Is it on North Main Street in Randolph? Yes. I don't know the exact number.
It's in the little plaza over there where the Family Dollar is.
No.
Okay.
No. It's a little bit more up, but it's on North Main Street on Randolph. Okay. They're really dope. I love their food. I did judging there not too long ago. Ooh. You gotta check it out. So fire. Also, shout out to Quench once again. Mm-hmm. Get your acai bowls, get your smoothies, anything you want to get over there. It's
Tropical
fire.
Temptation is mine.
There you guys go. A living review. There you guys go. And I also want to shout out Pressed Juicery in Easton. They have great fire acai bowls too. My boy Jerry, he got his shit going on over there. But to say the least, I want to thank you again for stopping by the Cinnergy podcast and being my first guest.
And I have to say shout out to you and thank you because I was at Amelia's restaurant a couple of weeks ago, and there was these people sitting in the lounge, and the guy said, someone's sending a drink over to you, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm a celebrity. Someone sent me a drink. And I didn't realize that it was this young lady until weeks later. So I didn't give you the proper thank you.
Thank you.
And I thank you. Bloody orange spritz, my favorite.
Come on. So happy having you, a real one in the building. You. Signing out. Cinnergy.
Thank you.